The Trials and Tribulations of an Engineer. Episode 8 Construction Management Introduction. I was very excited when I got my first job in the field of construction management. The first hurdle that I had to deal with in this job was traveling to the job site. There was no public transportation at the time and the only way to get there was by car. I was now faced with a decision: do I buy a brand new car to go to work or do I buy a used car? I chose to buy a new car, but I can tell you that this was not the correct decision for someone starting off on their first job. First of all, a cheap new car ranges from $22,000 to $40,000. The car payments for this will keep you poor for a few years before you pay it off. What I should have done was get a certified pre-owned vehicle that can range from $14,000 to $35,000 because the car has already been depreciated in price and usually the insurance is cheaper for a pre-owned car. Also, pro tip: if the dealer offers you tire insurance, don't get it. It is often a big hassle to file a claim and get your money back in the event that you need to use the tire insurance. We have already discussed in a previous episode what to expect on your first day, so we will move on to the specifics of the construction management job. There are two main types of jobs for this position: an office job and a field job. I was hired for an office job, and for this type of job you have to be comfortable working in a job trailer. Now, not every job trailer is built like the other. In smaller projects, the trailer is just the equivalent of one truck container. Inside these trailers there is usually a refrigerator and an air conditioner. If you are lucky with one of these smaller trailers, there is even an indoor bathroom. The smaller trailers fit 2 to 3 people relatively comfortably. When projects are bigger, they configure multiple trailers together to form a complex. This is when you have multiple workers, about 10 or 20, and they all need a space to work. These larger trailers are often more comfortable and have more amenities than what a smaller trailer can offer, such as multiple bathrooms, a pantry, and office space. The hierarchy of construction management looks like this: there is the vice president, who is the one who mainly deals with the client and is ultimately responsible for the job's success. Then there is the senior project manager and project manager, who oversee the project engineers, who are the grunt workers and the lowest people in the engineering totem pole in construction management. Straight out of college, I was hired as a project engineer. The project managers would ask me to do things such as takeoffs, which is the equivalent of making a shopping list of all the materials that are required to build the job. This information is important for construction management because this is used as a baseline for when other subcontractors bid for certain portions of the job. Assuming that you did a good job of the takeoff and that a subcontractor is decent, then your numbers should match. I was introduced to a digitizer back in the day, and what this device does is you place a to-scale drawing on the device and then trace out the concrete, and the device would tell you the area that you encircled. Every now and then the project managers would check to see if the colleges would teach a new revolutionary way to perform calculations. They asked me to do area takeoffs but didn't explain how to do them or what program to use. Since they taught us in school to do calculations with a program called MathCAD, that is the program that I used. When I was done, I showed them what I had done and they saw that it was not as efficient as their way. If you want to know the secret of what is the most powerful engineering calculation program, well, it is Microsoft Excel. If you can spend your time in college mastering using this program for doing all your calculations, you will have an easier time in the working world. This program is almost universally used to do many kinds of calculations. I should have known this when I saw how a student who was older and already many years in the working world submitted all their assignment calculations in Excel. Trust me, this application is very powerful and it will serve you well to master doing basic functions such as adding, multiplying, as well as creating charts and tables. One important thing that they enforced doing while at this job was keeping a work journal. There is an abundance of information and it is almost impossible to remember all the information correctly after a week or two. It is for that reason that we were made to keep detailed records of the 5 W's and H, otherwise known as who, what, where, when, why, and how. At first, doing this is cumbersome and a chore, but after a few weeks it becomes second nature and you tolerate doing it more when it reveals a vital piece of information that you forgot from earlier in the year. A majority of the time in this job you will be tracking and filing paperwork such as drawings and submittals. This is vitally important because any delay in getting this paperwork routed to the correct individuals can cause the project to go off of schedule. If the project gets delayed, the construction management firm gets fined per day that the project is delayed. They use tracking software that shows when the information came in and when it went out so they can see where the bottleneck was. Hopefully it wasn't you. When you aren't organizing paperwork, the remainder of your time will be spent in coordination meetings. Some of the people that you will have these coordination meetings with are the various subcontractors, the architects, the design engineers and the owners. These meetings can take anywhere from an hour or more and often require someone to take accurate notes to ensure that tasks get done. Some things that do make this job more enjoyable than others, depending on your preference, is getting away from your desk and monitor to seeing things being built up close. The next time we will discuss what it is like for the more field-oriented portion of this job. If this was helpful to you, please consider liking and subscribing. Till the next time.